Later on I'll teach you to do a meditation where you kind of follow what your existence will be after you die. And you end up in a place where everything is either lines or circles or darkness. That's it. So think of wisdom as circles. If you take a circle and you undo it, it becomes a sine wave. So this is wisdom, or this way like a snake, wisdom. Power is the ability to leave at 90 degrees away from the earth, against gravity. So for instance, you see pharaohs with falcons on their heads. That symbolizes their power. A falcon is able to fly up really fast against gravity and then attack. A snake represents wisdom. But wisdom by itself is not so great, or power by itself is not so great. For instance, if you have just wisdom, you know something but you don't act on it, that's like not knowing it at all, because nothing has changed. Power, if you have power but no wisdom, is like having a child with a gun. Lots of power, but really shouldn't have a gun. So if you look at our governments, we have obelisks everywhere. These little obelisks represent power, their ability to leave the ground. So we get all these governments with lots of power, but not that much wisdom. You have the ability to put them together. You create something new. You can take your wisdom, say it's a snake, and you put it in a tree. So now your snake has the ability to have a higher perspective with his wisdom. Right? You have what's called a quetzalcoatl, or a feathered serpent. It's a serpent, wisdom, and feathers, power, mixed together as one being. So I think a long time ago they must have separated and they became different. Well, the dragons are things that can fly, like birds, power. It can leave away from gravity, but they also have the undulation of wisdom. So power and wisdom together, the compass in the square, for instance. And once you realize that everything is made up of lines and circles, and then circles and lines become the same thing. Say, for instance, if I have a square, and I make a line here, and a line here, and a line here, and a line here, eventually this creates a curve, and that's your circle. So lines and circles are really the same thing. If you have a giant planet and you're standing on, you'll think you're standing on a flat planet, because it's so big you can't tell it's curved. So to you, in your perspective, it's flat. So at a bigger scale, they become the same. So eventually inside yourself, you want to be able to become both powerful and wise to bridge another duality. It's really all about trying to bridge duality.